Hey YouTube, so today we're going to be doing an entire investment portfolio review. As you see here on my screen, I have both Robinhood and Coinbase up. Now, instead of jumping in between both apps, boom, pow, we're going to be showing the entire portfolio all in one. So this is Ask Clash if you want to use it or even want more information. The link to it will be in the description. It's free to use. The main thing with me when it comes to investing is that I hate having to log everything in that's my biggest pet peeve, and one, not having things in all the same place. So this kind of helps me with that, and if there's something better that comes along, then I will go toward that. But right now I like what I'm seeing. As you see here, I have both Coinbase and Robinhood up, so obviously I invest in both crypto and equities. uh I figured I would start showing this video now because this is something that I've become extremely invested in, no pun intended. So instead of like popping on in a couple years and like, hey, or not even a couple years, maybe in like a, I don't know, like at the end of the year, like, hey, look at my $10,000 portfolio, and then I want to at least start at the bottom and then work my way up with it. And I know I'm not gonna stop buying, so I might as well document how I'm doing that. So the main thing is with my investment philosophy is that the older I've gotten, the more I've cared about owning assets. The biggest things, obviously, especially if you're in the U.S., purchasing power is going down, dollars basically trending zero. Everything that you see around you is going up year over year, but things are staying stagnant as far as, let's say, not even just for me, but it could be like wages or just the amount you're able to earn versus inflation. And honestly, I believe those that do own the assets in the future, those that have assets, are going to be the ones that aren't going to be as affected, if that makes sense. So let's just start here. I have a $3,400 portfolio. Um, I have a Roth IRA as well, but I'm on Robinhood. But I figured I wouldn't add that just yet. I'm just gonna, stick with everything that's in both taxable accounts. If I sell, then there's, tax implications, things like that. But this is why I use Ash Clash because I don't want to jump between each app, especially if I'm doing something like this. And I've had a lot more positions, but then I just started thinking a little bit more, and I figured let me just, stick to my 4, 5 to 6, like long-term assets that I believe in, that I want to be a base for the portfolio, and then add things as we move along. So as you can look here, and we'll just go through each one. So you see I have crypto and you see I have stocks. Now we will move to Robinhood, and I'll explain each one. So I had a lot more. I was in a lot more single stock companies too. Some of them I'll just mention in other videos because it doesn't matter since it's not in the portfolio anymore. But I just scraped the whole thing clean. And I just started thinking like, and that's the main thing. That's why I feel like it's gonna help me connect to the people that are watching, is that I'm not somebody that built up a business and then I came on here with a couple thousand racks. I'm a regular retail investor, just like whoever's probably watching this. Um, and so I'm gonna, build the portfolio around my philosophy. So as you see here, I have VOO. That's the base of this entire, at least stock portfolio. That's what I care about the most. So I mean, we're sitting pretty comfortably. I my thing with stocks is that I don't know, I just could not find any good information at the time, or at least nothing that was connecting to me. But after I did more research, it finally clicked to me, right? So I want to have something that follows the S&P 500, top 500 companies in the United States. So I started because I don't know, my story is a little bit tricky, but I just wanted to build my conviction with stocks. So I was doing about maybe $1 every trading day with VOO, and then I kicked it up to $5 a day. Then I cut it back to $3 a day when I added QQQM, which I'll explain in a bit, and then SCHD. But we kind of flip flop between $3 to $5. I switched it back to $5 a day because I'm pretty much close to the point where I'm about to get a full share. Because some weeks I might feel a little bit good, so I might just add in all the weekly buys, like just at Monday. So you like put like $15 in. That'd be the equivalent of at least $3 a day. But so sometimes I put some extra money into it. But I'm pretty hell bent on having this be the bulk of the entire equity portfolio. And on top of that, I want to build that base fast because honestly, when if I once I get to around a share to $1,000 in food, I'm I'm just gonna do just a little bit more with it, but I figured I just keep it simple now. Let's build up the base. That way, no matter what, I have exposure to all the companies. And there's a lot of videos out there where people breaking down exactly what is in the S&P 500. I'm not gonna go over that because we all know it's the top 500 companies in the United States. Those are gonna be the ones that are in the S&P 500. So as you see, I have exposure. Some of these companies I was, concentrating a little bit more in at first, but I figured here's my philosophy. Like, if I'm not able to at least drop like $1,000 or just be able to buy like multiple shares, then I I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to sit it out, and that's kind of what I want to document. Is even though you see the market ripping, you see everything that's going on. Sometimes you got to get in where you fit in, and I think right now where I fit in is building my base of the entire stocks, and you'll see why in a minute. So that's the S&P 500 VU. It's a low cost index fund too, so you're not gonna pay as much holding it versus other ones. QQQM, I don't trade or anything like that, so that's why I don't hold QQQ. But this follows the Nasdaq. Once again, these are gonna be some of the top 100 companies that are running in the United States. Same thing, not gonna beat you over the head with what's in it, but you see a little bit of the same names here. You see you have your Nvidia, Apple, Micron, Microsoft, right? Yada yada yada. Right. These are tech giants. They're leading the way. AI is the move. That's kind of what's been popping off right now. And as far as where we're at with that, same thing. We were kind of doing about like $1 to $2 a day when I was starting it, and then I bumped it up to three. It's just the tilt. Um, Obviously the returns are it's I have almost just as much returns on QQQM as I do my VOO position. So you can kind of see the vision with that. Just want to double down on what's working. And then shit, SpaceX, all that is going to be coming in here. So I definitely want to be attached to that. And we're doing good on it so far. It's up 10% all time. Keep in mind, I started. I started with this year because it took me a long time to understand stocks. It took me more time to understand stocks than it did crypto, and we'll get to crypto in a second. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. And then last but not least, we have SCHD. So I know people say if you're young, you shouldn't, do dividend investing. And I'll keep this one short. I want to buy it now. I want to build the base. I want to smooth out that volatility, and this is one of the best ways to do it. Gold is very volatile. Bonds, I'm not even ready for that. So this is the closest thing that can, not only give me some stability, but it gives me some growth too. Now it is slow growth, but it's still growth nonetheless. And this is what I want to build up is because I have a dividend payment scheduled for today. It's just $1, but that right there is what's motivating me right now. Because imagine if I had 100 shares of SCHD. Imagine if I had 1,000 shares, and that's what I want. Now I'm contemplating if I'm going to switch this to my Roth IRA because I buy SCHD in my Roth IRA, but there I don't want to wait till here's my thing. I don't want to wait till I'm 59. That's the thing. I don't want to wait till I'm 59. And if I have to pay taxes on dividend income, that I mean that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it could probably be a pain later, but the thing is with the taxable brokerage, I want to have access to the money if anything I want comes up. Maybe I want to put a down payment on something. Or maybe I just want to say, F it and just spend it all. Who knows? But the thing is that I like having the flexibility with the money that I'm putting into the market. Whereas if I put in my Roth IRA, I mean I can still take the money out, but there's penalties for doing that. I don't want to do that. So I do invest in it in my Roth IRA, not as much as I do in my taxable. But I'm getting to a point where I think I'm gonna try and buy a share a month on both because I definitely want the dividend income working in the Roth IRA, and we're building that up too. But we'll get to that later. So that's literally it. I scraped everything. I didn't have a lot of companies, but I had a lot of companies. I had like some ServiceNow. I had my not Micron, but I had what are some of them? ServiceNow. I had like Celsius. I had um, I can't even remember them right now, and it's completely irrelevant. But as you see here, this is the big one that we're coming towards. So as you see. on here, my biggest position in the portfolio is BTC. Now, some people might feel some type of way about this. I'm going to tell you how much BTC I have. Right. So we have about 0.03 Bitcoin, and we're getting close to zero point 0.8, which I honestly I think we're at. If I let me go back on Coinbase, so I might have inputted something wrong. Yeah, I inputted something wrong because it shouldn't say I only have that much unless the because I have to put all my buys in. That's the only thing I don't like about this. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have to look through that, which is okay. But it's my biggest conviction asset. The main thing that drove me to go in on Bitcoin the most was the 21 million. I don't know why, but that hit hard to me. It's a scarce digital asset. We don't have a lot of things like that in the crypto market. There's too much going on, and all of it's built on the back of BTC. Everyone's trying to make a name off of Bitcoin. Same with the treasuries and the ETFs. If you want exposure to Bitcoin, just buy Bitcoin, right? So my goal with that, and this might take some years, it might take some years, but it's to have one whole coin. If I have one whole coin, I'll feel satisfied. And I would like to have as much as I can. I do believe that it is an asset that's going to be around in the future and that it will go higher. And I'm loving these prices right now, 5,900. As you see, we're down 500 right now, and that would kind of reflect the same um, on Coinbase. It's just a $5 difference, but that that right there is my highest conviction asset. I do believe in it. I also believe that I'm still going to need fiat in the future too. So that's why I buy equities. I, everywhere I go, I'm gonna need fiat currency. And on top of that, if I really need some capital from this, I can borrow against it. Boom. It's a double win. Just keep the liquidation levels low, and you're good. Now, Ethereum, this is a tricky one. So Ethereum is completely different than Bitcoin. Ethereum is not a scarce digital asset. It's not even a asset anymore. It's the basically the way I like to look at it is what people say. It is Manhattan before all the skyscrapers, because all these institutions, everything that's being built, most of it is being built on top of Ethereum, right? I I saw it. I saw it go to $4,900, and if you had a staked version of ETH, then it went over 5,000. Will I stake ETH moving forward? I don't know, but I definitely want one whole coin. The way it works with this is that at most I'm buying like $1 a day right now. I probably should buy more. This is not investment advice, but I just believe that most of the capital I'm getting, if I am gonna put it into a cryptocurrency, it should be in Bitcoin. So and that's really it, because everything else bleeds to Bitcoin. Everything. So why would I don't have time to gamble in the casino. We'll have some stories about that. But I'm trying to be smarter this time around because this isn't my first time in the market. I especially with crypto. I got into it around 2020, right? So 2020, and I didn't understand what it was. Bought some Bitcoin, it went up. I didn't realize why. I didn't understand what I had. I sold it. I needed the money at the time. And then I just kind of went flat for like 2021. Went a little flat. And then 2022 went a little flat. And then we started to pick it up because I started doing more research. And then this is when it started to finally click for me a little bit. And I was doing about maybe $10 a week. I should have been doing more. Right. And I saw it all happen. The bull market came, and we went up. And I took some profits, and I made a mistake. I think I had maybe like 60. Actually, I think average cost for Bitcoin was the same as it is now, but I sold it accidentally during the bear market. So when I bought back in, it was maybe 90K or so. But the main thing with that is we're sitting at 72,000. We're just averaging that down. Throughout this week, we will break below 71K. We might even break below 70K and might be in the 69K, which that will be good. Anything below my average cost, it's a big buy. So right now I'm doing about $35 a day into it. If I need the liquidity, I can borrow against it, just not as much. Um, and that's the main thing with that. And I have Pax Gold. Now this might be a little bit controversial. Um, I believe in gold. I also believe that gold is not, it's definitely not as scarce as Bitcoin. And it's something that is for the entire history has always driven markets, even Stone Age. But I believe in tokenization too. That's the main thing. I believe in tokenized gold. Yeah, I get it. I don't have the gold. The main thing about gold is that you can physically hold it. I don't feel like hoarding around gold coins and bars. It's just not my thing. I think they're beautiful. If I had one, I would keep it. If I had a stash, I would probably keep it. But I I want I think this is the best exposure to gold other than a gold ETF, if that makes sense. But I believe in tokenized assets overall. That is the main thing. So I had a higher position some gold. I just had to sell it because I wanted access to some liquidity, but I also wanted to keep my cash buffer too. And I'm kind of happy I sold it in a way because gold gold has been dropping. It's been dropping. And I've been looking at some analysts and looking at their charts. Some people are saying we're going to go to 3K. That would be wonderful. I remember seeing that during the bear market, or not the bear market, but the bull market when it was neck and neck and ETH, and then it just shot up. I do think we'll get a $10,000 gold in this decade. Just trust me on that. I do think we'll get it. But it's definitely a high conviction asset. I know it doesn't look like it. We're sitting at like $9.75, and we're down about 8 cents on it because usually I do about $5 a day. That's what I was doing. But I sold off a little bit earlier before making this video, not like right before, but like a week or so before. Hedera, I believe in things like HBAR, right? You can't really tell because I only have one coin. Um, I just got it on Robinhood. It was basically they gave me free crypto for that month. So I think the week before that it was Cardano. I sold that. It was like 25 cent. But yeah, it's just a free cryptocurrency, and I think I'm gonna just keep it because they're gonna be giving me one like every month right now, especially since I have gold. So I'm just gonna see what happens with that. And it's not much, and who knows? They might give me one BTC coin. If they give me one Bitcoin, that'd be amazing. You'll see me out here with a $65,000 portfolio the next day. So that's really it for the portfolio. Hopefully hopefully I kept it simple and straight to the point. And this is what I like about things like this is that it's all here, and I can simulate like the value like if things go up. That's a pretty nice tool. But the main thing is that it's all here for me. This right now gives me a portfolio analysis. I can use it to look at charts. I can look at the market and see what's going on. We'll talk about that more in another video. But that's the main thing. That's the main thing right now. The goal for this portfolio right now is to get to 5K, then 10K, and then obviously we'll just keep stacking up after that. But let me know what you think. I just figured I would start this now because I know I'm gonna keep adding into the market. I have buys that are already set to go off today. Where I already bumped it back up to 5 for VU, 3 for QQQM, and then 2 for SCHD. Thinking I might do 350 for that, but right now this is about $10. This is what I'm comfortable with, just adding to the market every day. Keep in mind because I'm buying Bitcoin every day as well too, and a little bit of some ETH and gold every day. So it's a lot of money every day, but I definitely want to build the stock side of my portfolio because that's the thing I'm lacking. Because as you see right here, we have a 66% allocation of all our capital into Bitcoin. Next is ETH. Honestly, I want to kind of keep it that low. I would like one coin, but I think I have to build up the other things first. What I want is for VU, or not, yeah, what I want is for VU to be about 45 to 50. I honestly want that. I want it to be almost neck and neck with Bitcoin, and then maybe like 30% QQQM. Honestly I want that to dominate their portfolio right now. I think I'll have a better chance right now going building those two up, and then we'll just keep going from there. So that's really it. If you're interested in following along on this journey, hit the sub button. I will be uploading more videos. It'll be different types of videos. I just want to show the portfolio. I'm gonna kind of check back. I'm gonna honestly check into this every day. I would probably check in with this every day. We but we're gonna be doing different type of videos. Not every video is gonna be a an investment portfolio review. This is just the first one, so I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out there and kind of show you like the thought process behind what I'm doing. But ultimately, is I'm not gonna stop allocating money. So it in turn it's already gonna grow just off of my deposits alone. So instead of coming up here like, hey guys, I got a $10,000 portfolio or anything like that, or 100,000, right? Let me just start from the bottom, so that way you can see the journey and see me progress in building it too. And if you have any questions or if you have any feedback, leave that in the comment section below. My name is Nick. Thanks for listening. And we'll have more videos coming. So that's really it. But I just wanted to have this video be the foundation of where we're starting from. A $3,400 portfolio that we're going to build going on into the future. Right? Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.